Imagine waking up in a home that is entirely your own. No compromises, no unwanted noise, no one dictating your schedule, just pure uninterrupted freedom. For many older men, the thought of living alone can feel intimidating. Society often paints solo living as a path to loneliness, isolation, or even regret. But what if that wasn't the truth? What if living alone was actually one of the most liberating, empowering, and fulfilling experiences of your life? Too often, we associate living alone with loneliness. Friends and family might say things like, "Won't you feel isolated?" Or, "You should be around people as you get older." But here's something they don't tell you. Living alone doesn't mean being lonely. In fact, it might be the key to happiness and self-discovery. Many older men who embrace solo living report feeling more in control, more at peace, and more connected to the people who truly matter in their lives. The truth is, the world has changed. Decades ago, a man living alone in his later years might have been an unusual sight. But today, more and more men are choosing this path, and for good reason. Living alone can bring clarity, independence, financial stability, and even better mental health. It allows you to rediscover yourself, pursue long-lost passions, and design a life that works entirely on your terms. And the best part, you don't have to answer to anyone. Now you might be thinking, that all sounds great, but isn't living alone boring? Won't I feel disconnected? Those are valid concerns. Change can be unsettling, and stepping into a life of solitude, especially after years of sharing your space, can feel unfamiliar at first. But what if I told you that solo living could actually improve your relationships? That it could make you happier, healthier, and even more social than before? In this video, we're going to explore 9 life-changing benefits of living alone as an older man. We'll break down the common myths that hold many men back from embracing this lifestyle and reveal the hidden advantages that can make solo living one of the best decisions you ever make. Whether you're considering living alone for the first time, adjusting to an empty nest, or simply curious about how to make the most of your independence, this video is for you. By the end, you'll see that living alone isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. This is your time to reclaim your space, your time, and your life. Let's dive into the 9 surprising benefits of living alone and why it might just be the best thing that ever happened to you. One of the biggest fears men have about living alone is loneliness. It's a word that carries a heavy emotional weight, often linked to feelings of isolation, sadness, and even depression. Society has conditioned us to believe that being alone is a problem, something to be avoided at all costs. But here's the truth that no one talks about. Being alone and being lonely are 2 completely different things. Loneliness isn't about whether or not you have people around you. It's about whether you feel connected, fulfilled, and at peace within yourself. Many men have spent years, even decades, in relationships, marriages, or living arrangements that were filled with people but still left them feeling lonely. Maybe their needs weren't met. Maybe they lost their sense of self in the process of always putting others first. Maybe they stayed in environments that drained them emotionally. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine living in a space where you are at peace with yourself, where you are in full control of your surroundings, and where you are free to choose the relationships that truly bring you joy. That is the power of living alone. It gives you the chance to focus on meaningful connections rather than forced interactions. The science of solitude, how being alone can make you happier. Psychologists have studied the impact of intentional solitude, and the results are surprising. Research suggests that people who actively choose to spend time alone, whether for reflection, creativity, or personal growth, tend to be happier, less stressed, and more emotionally balanced. Solitude allows your brain to rest, helps you process emotions more effectively, and even improves your ability to build stronger, healthier relationships. Think about it. When you live with others, your time and energy are constantly being divided. You're making compromises, adjusting to someone else's schedule, and sometimes even putting your own needs on hold. But when you live alone, you rediscover yourself. You learn what truly makes you happy, what routines work best for you, and how to enjoy your own company. A real-life perspective, from loneliness to liberation. Take the story of Mark, a 62-year-old man who found himself living alone after a divorce. At first, he dreaded the idea. He was used to always having someone around. He thought the silence of his home would feel empty, even depressing, but something unexpected happened. With time, Mark started reconnecting with old passions, reading, woodworking, and even learning to play the guitar. He started reaching out to friends on his own terms, enjoying the ability to meet up for coffee or a game of golf without the stress of a complicated home life. He realized that loneliness wasn't about being alone. It was about not living a fulfilling life. And for the first time in years, he felt truly content. How to avoid loneliness while living alone. If you're worried about loneliness, the key is intention. You don't have to wait for someone to call you or invite you out. You have the power to build your own connections and routines. Here's how. Make socializing a choice, not an obligation. Living alone means you can spend time with people you actually enjoy, rather than being stuck in draining relationships. Stay active in hobbies and passions. Whether it's painting, writing, or even learning something new, engaging in activities you love keeps your mind sharp and your heart full. Join local groups or communities. Book clubs, hobby groups, or even volunteering can bring new friendships into your life. Embrace solitude as a positive experience. Use the quiet time to reflect, set new goals, and appreciate the freedom you have. Conclusion: the freedom of being alone. Living alone as an older man doesn't mean your world shrinks. It means it expands. You have the opportunity to redefine your life on your terms, to build meaningful relationships, and to enjoy peace and independence like never before. The next time someone tells you that living alone means being lonely, you can smile and know the truth. Solitude can be one of the most fulfilling experiences of your life. Now that we've shattered the loneliness myth, let's move on to the next powerful benefit: freedom and independence, designing life on your terms. There's something incredibly powerful about waking up in the morning and knowing that every decision you make is entirely your own. No compromises, no explanations, just pure independence. For many older men, this is one of the most underrated yet life-changing benefits of living alone. After spending years, perhaps decades, sharing a home with family, a spouse, or even roommates, it's easy to forget what true independence feels like. You've likely spent a large portion of your life making decisions based on the needs of others, whether it was raising children, managing a household with a partner, or adjusting to someone else's preferences. But now it's your time. The power of living on your own terms. Living alone means you finally get to set the rules for your own life. Want to wake up at 5 a.m. and go for a long walk? Go for it. Prefer to sleep in and enjoy a slow morning with coffee and a book? No one's stopping you. Every single aspect of your life, from the way you organize your home to how you spend your evenings, is completely under your control. For some, this level of independence might feel strange at first, even overwhelming. But over time, it becomes one of the most liberating experiences imaginable. No one is waiting on you to make dinner, no one is interrupting your peace, and no one is questioning your choices. You are in charge of your happiness. Breaking free from obligations. Let's be honest, living with others often means a constant stream of responsibilities and expectations. Even if you loved your previous living situation, there were always compromises. Maybe you had to watch TV at a lower volume because someone else was sleeping. Maybe you had to eat meals at a certain time, even when you weren't hungry. Maybe you had to attend social events you weren't interested in just to keep the peace. But when you live alone, those obligations disappear. You no longer have to justify your choices to anyone. If you want to watch an action movie at full volume at midnight, you can. If you want to have breakfast for dinner, no one will complain. If you want to spend an entire day doing absolutely nothing, that's entirely up to you. And that level of freedom isn't just convenient, it's life-changing. It allows you to reconnect with your own needs, desires, and interests in a way that many men haven't experienced in years. The joy of a home that's truly yours. Another major benefit of living alone: your space is entirely your own. You get to decorate it however you like, keep it as tidy or messy as you want, and create an environment that makes you feel truly at home. For some men, this means finally turning that spare room into a personal office, a music studio, or a workout space. For others, it means letting go of unnecessary clutter and embracing a simpler, stress-free living space. Whatever your ideal home looks like, you get to design it exactly how you want. No compromises, no debates, just pure personal expression. Reclaiming your time and energy. Living alone also gives you the opportunity to spend your time exactly how you want. When you're no longer tied to the schedules and expectations of others, you suddenly realize just how much energy you were giving away. Now you can spend your days doing what truly fulfills you. Maybe that means diving into a new hobby, traveling on a whim, or even just spending more time outdoors. Whatever it is, your time is now fully your own. A life designed for you by you. For many older men, living alone isn't just about solitude, it's about freedom. It's about finally having the chance to reclaim your space, your time, and your life. It's about living intentionally, choosing what brings you joy and removing what doesn't. Of course, independence comes with responsibility. You are now in full control of your finances, your health, and your daily routines. But instead of seeing that as a burden, embrace it as an opportunity. This is your chance to create the life you've always wanted, one where you make the decisions and you set the pace. Living alone isn't about isolation. It's about self-empowerment. And once you fully embrace this freedom, you'll wonder how you ever lived any other way. Now that we've explored the power of independence, let's move on to another major benefit: better mental and emotional well-being, the peace that comes with solitude. In a world that constantly demands our attention, solitude is often misunderstood. People assume that being alone means being lonely, but the reality is quite the opposite. Solitude can be one of the most powerful tools for mental and emotional well-being. When an older man embraces living alone, he doesn't just gain space. He gains peace of mind, clarity, and emotional stability. After years of fulfilling responsibilities, managing relationships, and constantly adjusting to the needs of others, living alone offers a rare and valuable gift: the ability to truly focus on yourself. This newfound peace can have a profound impact on your mental health, emotional well-being, and overall happiness. Let's explore why solitude isn't something to fear, but something to embrace. The power of a quiet mind. Living alone means fewer distractions, fewer obligations, and fewer interruptions. It means the ability to sit in silence, reflect, and truly listen to yourself. In a shared household, moments of stillness are rare. You're constantly engaged in conversation, managing responsibilities, or navigating social dynamics. But when you live alone, you have the chance to experience deep mental clarity. Studies show that solitude helps reduce stress, anxiety, and mental fatigue. When there's no external noise demanding your attention, your mind has the opportunity to rest and reset. You can spend time thinking about your future, appreciating your past, or simply enjoying the present moment without feeling rushed or pressured. Many men find that, after years of prioritizing others, living alone finally allows them to reconnect with their own thoughts, dreams, and desires. It's a chance to rediscover who you are outside of your roles as a provider, a husband, a father, or a friend. Emotional stability and self-discovery. One of the greatest benefits of solitude is the opportunity to develop a deeper relationship with yourself. When you're not constantly influenced by the emotions, opinions, or expectations of others, you become more in tune with your own feelings and needs. Living alone can also be a healing experience. If you've gone through a major life change, such as a divorce, the loss of a spouse, or retirement, this time alone allows you to process your emotions at your own pace. Instead of suppressing your feelings or distracting yourself with social obligations, you can give yourself the space to heal, reflect, and grow. And with emotional stability comes a sense of confidence. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you realize that happiness doesn't depend on others, it comes from within. You become emotionally self-sufficient, resilient, and at peace with yourself. Freedom from drama and negativity. Another unexpected benefit of living alone is the ability to remove unnecessary negativity from your life. Let's be honest, relationships, while fulfilling, can also come with stress, conflicts, and emotional exhaustion. Whether it's dealing with household disagreements, navigating difficult relationships, or simply managing different personalities, shared living often involves compromise and occasional tension. But when you live alone, you're in full control of your emotional environment. No more unnecessary arguments, no more negative energy, no more dealing with conflicts that drain you. Instead, your home becomes a sanctuary of peace. You get to decide what kind of energy surrounds you, what kind of people you allow into your space, and how you spend your time. More time for meaningful activities. With fewer distractions and responsibilities, living alone also gives you the chance to invest time in things that truly bring you joy and fulfillment. Reading more books that expand your knowledge or provide a much-needed escape. Practicing mindfulness through meditation, journaling, or simply enjoying quiet mornings. Pursuing creative passions, whether it's painting, writing, music, or photography. Engaging in physical activities like yoga, cycling, or hiking that improve both body and mind. Whatever brings you joy, you now have the freedom to fully immerse yourself in it, without distractions, without interruptions, and without guilt. stronger social connections on your terms. Ironically, living alone often leads to better social relationships. When you're not constantly surrounded by people at home, your interactions with others become more intentional. Instead of feeling obligated to socialize, you choose when and how to connect with others. Many older men who live alone find that they actually enjoy more meaningful friendships and deeper conversations because they engage with people by choice, not by necessity. This creates a sense of balance, where solitude provides peace and social interactions provide joy. The key takeaway: solitude is strength. Living alone as an older man isn't about isolation. It's about embracing the peace, clarity, and emotional stability that comes with solitude. It's about giving yourself the space to heal, reflect, and enjoy life on your terms. This is your time to nurture your mental and emotional well-being, to surround yourself with peace, to build a home that feels like a retreat, to cultivate a life that is fulfilling, balanced, and deeply meaningful. And once you embrace the power of solitude, you'll realize that being alone is not just okay. It's one of the best gifts you can give yourself. One of the biggest concerns men have about living alone is the cost. After all, managing all expenses on a single income might seem overwhelming at first. However, the reality is that living alone can actually be more affordable and financially liberating than many people realize. When done strategically, it allows older men to gain greater control over their spending, prioritize what truly matters, and achieve financial peace of mind. In this section, we'll break down how living alone can lead to better financial management, reduced expenses, and the freedom to invest in what brings you joy, all while avoiding unnecessary financial stress. 1. Full control over your expenses. One of the biggest financial advantages of living alone is having complete control over your money. You decide what to spend on, where to cut back, and what's truly worth your hard-earned dollars. In a shared household, whether with family or roommates, expenses often spiral out of control due to shared obligations, unexpected costs, or differing spending habits. But when you live alone, every financial decision is yours to make. No more paying for things you don't use, no more covering expenses for others, no more financial surprises that drain your bank account. Want to stick to a strict budget? You can. Want to spend on experiences instead of material things? That's up to you. Want to retire comfortably without financial burdens? Living alone can help you achieve that. This control allows you to prioritize what truly matters, whether it's saving for travel, investing in hobbies, or ensuring financial security for the years ahead. 2. Downsizing saves you money. Many older men find that downsizing is one of the smartest financial moves they can make. Moving into a smaller home, an apartment, or even a retirement-friendly living space significantly reduces costs on rent or mortgage, utilities, and maintenance. A smaller living space also means lower utility bills. Heating, cooling, and electricity costs are much lower in a smaller home. Less maintenance, no more expensive home repairs, lawn care, or unexpected household fixes. Reduced property taxes. Smaller homes often mean lower taxes, freeing up more of your income. By choosing a space that fits your needs rather than excess space that requires upkeep, you instantly lower your cost of living and gain financial flexibility. 3. Cooking and eating on your terms equals more savings. Food expenses are a major budget drain in shared households. You often find yourself buying extra groceries, eating out more, or compromising on food choices to accommodate others. When you live alone, you buy only what you need, avoid food waste, and cook meals that are both healthy and budget-friendly. No more spending on unnecessary snacks for others or dining out at restaurants that don't fit your taste. For example, cooking simple, nutritious meals at home can cut food costs by half compared to eating out. Meal prepping reduces impulse spending at grocery stores. You can follow a diet that suits your health without compromise. Living alone gives you the freedom to eat well, save money, and enjoy the meals you truly love without breaking the bank. 4. No more unnecessary purchases. Another hidden benefit of living alone: you're no longer influenced by the spending habits of others. Think about it: when you live with family, friends, or even a partner, you often feel pressure to spend on things you wouldn't normally buy. Whether it's social obligations, home decor preferences, or expensive activities, Shared living can push you into unnecessary spending. When you live alone, heavy checkmark, you buy what you actually need. Heavy checkmark, you invest in things that bring you value. Heavy checkmark, you eliminate the guilt of saying no to expenses that don't serve you. This leads to more financial security and the ability to build long-term savings without external financial pressure. 5. Prioritizing experiences over material things. Many men who live alone realize that they no longer feel the need to accumulate unnecessary possessions. Instead, they prioritize experiences, whether that's traveling, taking up new hobbies, or simply enjoying life at their own pace. Since living alone eliminates unnecessary expenses, it frees up money for things that bring genuine joy. Imagine having extra funds for a trip you've always wanted to take, a passion project you put off for years, or learning a new skill that excites you. When you're not spending money on things that don't truly serve you, you have the financial freedom to invest in a fulfilling, exciting life. 6. A stress-free financial future. One of the most overlooked benefits of living alone is the peace of mind it brings in financial planning. Without the unpredictable expenses that come with shared living, it's easier to plan for retirement, build emergency savings, invest in health and wellness without financial worry. Since you have full control over your income and expenses, you can create a long-term financial strategy that ensures comfort and stability for years to come. The key takeaway: living alone is a smart financial choice. Contrary to common belief, living alone doesn't have to be expensive. It can actually be one of the most financially liberating decisions you make. By cutting out unnecessary spending, downsizing smartly, and prioritizing what truly matters, you gain freedom, security, and control over your financial future. Instead of feeling restricted, you'll feel empowered, knowing that you have the means to live life on your terms without financial stress holding you back. One of the most rewarding aspects of living alone as an older man is the absolute freedom to design your life exactly the way you want. No compromises, no external pressures, just the opportunity to create a lifestyle that aligns with your passions, values, and personal goals. For many men, the later years of life are a time of reflection and reinvention. This is the stage where you finally have the chance to focus on yourself, explore new interests, and build a future that excites you. In this section, we'll dive into how living alone gives you the power to embrace personal growth, shape your identity, and fully enjoy life on your terms. 1. The freedom to pursue your passions. When you live alone, your time is completely your own. You no longer have to plan your schedule around others, compromise on activities, or feel obligated to do things you don't enjoy. Instead, you can finally dedicate your time to what truly makes you happy. Think about it. What have you always wanted to do but never had the time for? Writing a book, now's your chance. Taking up painting, woodworking, or music, go for it. Traveling to places you've always dreamed of, nothing's holding you back. With no distractions or obligations, you can fully immerse yourself in new hobbies and personal projects. This not only brings joy and fulfillment, but also keeps your mind sharp and your spirit energized. 2. Redefining your identity. For many men, much of life has been spent in defined roles, as a worker, a husband, a father, or a provider. But once you start living alone, you get to ask yourself, who am I outside of these roles? What kind of life do I want to live now? This is your chance to rediscover yourself. Maybe you've always wanted to be more creative, more adventurous, or more social. Living alone gives you the opportunity to shed old expectations and embrace new aspects of yourself without judgment. The beauty of this stage in life is that you're never too old to reinvent yourself. Whether that means switching careers, starting a business, or simply adopting a new mindset, you have the freedom to create the life you truly desire. 3. The power of solitude for growth and reflection. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. In fact, solitude can be one of the most powerful tools for self-growth and peace of mind. Living alone allows you to reflect on your life's journey and appreciate how far you've come. Gain clarity on your goals, dreams, and future direction. Develop a stronger sense of independence and confidence. Many older men find that solitude helps them deepen their understanding of themselves, leading to greater peace, self-acceptance, and emotional resilience. Rather than seeing alone time as isolation, they embrace it as an opportunity for self-discovery and renewal. 4. Creating your own routines and lifestyle. One of the greatest joys of living alone is the ability to craft your daily routine exactly the way you like it. No more adjusting to someone else's schedule, no more obligations. Just the freedom to wake up, spend your day, and unwind on your own terms. Want to start your mornings with meditation and a cup of coffee in silence? Go for it. Prefer working on a personal project late into the night? No one's stopping you. Love the idea of spontaneous road trips or weekend adventures? You're free to explore. This level of independence allows you to build a lifestyle that nurtures your happiness, health, and personal fulfillment. You set the pace, the priorities, and the rhythm of your days. 5. Expanding your social circle on your terms. Living alone doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means choosing the relationships that truly enrich your life. Many men find that after decades of social obligations, they now prefer quality over quantity in their relationships. Living alone allows you to cultivate friendships that align with your values and interests. Spend time with people who bring positivity and joy into your life. Engage in social activities that feel meaningful and fulfilling. Instead of feeling pressured to maintain relationships out of obligation, you get to invest in connections that genuinely matter, whether that's through social clubs, community events, or simply deepening existing friendships. 6. The excitement of an open future. One of the most liberating aspects of living alone is the realization that your future is entirely in your hands. You don't have to follow a set path or live by anyone else's expectations. Whether you want to travel, start a new career, move to a new city, or simply enjoy the peace of your own space, the possibilities are endless. Many older men find that this stage of life is not an ending, but a new beginning, one filled with opportunities for adventure, personal growth, and deep satisfaction. The key takeaway: living alone is the ultimate act of self-liberation. Living alone as an older man is not about isolation. It's about embracing the freedom to create a life that truly fulfills you. It's about discovering new passions, shaping your identity, and enjoying the peace and independence that comes with it. Rather than feeling restricted, you'll feel empowered, knowing that you have the ability to shape your future exactly the way you want.